Hi Capricorn, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your April 2026 tarot reading. Thanks to those of you who have liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's a 12-card spread with each card representing a different house of the zodiac. Starting with your sign, Capricorn is the first house, all the way through to Sagittarius representing the 12th house. And when we get to that main spread, we'll actually pull an oracle card for some additional insight. As far as the main decks being used, for the main tarot deck, we have Tarot of the New Vision, and for the oracle deck, we'll be using Wisdom of the Oracle. But we're actually going to start the reading off our roll notes astrology decks we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus should be as far as that goes. Alright, so we have the Sun, and the Sun is currently in Aries, and that is your 4th house of home, roots, and family. And then on the 20th of April, it'll be moving into Taurus, which is your 5th house of romance, creativity, and children. All right, we have 3. So 3rd house energy for you guys, that's Pisces. And astrologically speaking, we currently have Mars there. It'll be there until the 9th of April. And we had a Mercury retrograde in Pisces recently as well. Now, the retrograde wrapped up on March 20th, but we still have a post-shadow period going on until, let's say, the end of the first week of April. And eventually, Mercury will be moving out of Pisces and into Aries on the 14th. But, so we still do have some residual energy going on there. And in general, 3rd house points to communication, short journeys, and siblings. And we have Capricorn, so that's you guys, of course. So yeah, so in this context, with this spread, that would actually represent 1st house energy. And in general, 1st house points to personality, self-awareness, appearance. But this could just be saying that you might be a little bit more focused on yourselves this month. So we'll keep all that in mind as we go through the main spread. So as I mentioned, with the 1st house energy representing personality, self-awareness, and appearance, we have the Ace of Wands. So maybe there's a part of you that wants a fresh start there, right? Maybe you want to just reinvent yourselves in some way. Maybe you just want to go with a different look, right? It doesn't have to be anything massive, but there's something about yourselves this month that you're taking a look at and you want a fresh start around something. That's primarily what I'm getting there. All right, and your 2nd house, which points to possession, self-worth, and finances, we have the 5 of Swords. So this is Aquarius energy, which actually is your natural 2nd house ruler. But seeing this here, I feel like this is saying that when it comes to finances, you might be in an environment where people tend to have more cutthroat mentality, so it's not looking for win-win scenarios. It's like, nope, I'm going to winner take all, basically, is going to be the approach that they would take. So especially if you're thinking of entering into financial partnerships with people this month, I feel like this is definitely something to keep in mind there, right? Where if that's not the type of energy you would want to engage in, you might want to just hold off on those kinds of things this month if possible. All right, so in the 3rd house, which we saw come up with the dice as well, we have the 9 of Cups. So this is Pisces energy here, which is also your natural 3rd house ruler. But seeing this here, I feel like this is saying that there could be a bit of a hint of nostalgia around your communication this month, right? If not even just nostalgia, there's a hint of purity around your communication too, right? Where you really just are seeing the best in situations and you want to project that out forward as you communicate, right? So this is saying that you have this desire for fulfillment and you feel like the things that you actually do want are totally possible to bring to fruition. So I feel like that's going to be impacting how you're communicating this month. And I feel like it'll be well received for the most part too, which is a positive there. All right, so for the 4th house energy, which interestingly enough is Aries for you guys, we also have an Aries card here. But yeah, we have the 3 of Wands. So this could just be saying that when it comes to your home environments, you might just be a little bit more withdrawn this month, right? Maybe you're just taking a bit of a break, right? Where if you know that you put in some hard work toward a situation, now you're just taking that bit of space to let things come to fruition. So timeline-wise, this could just be pointing mostly to the first 10 days of April, since that's what this card represents, those middle 10 degrees of Aries. So definitely be on the lookout for that time to be a little bit more significant as far as that goes. But yeah, that's what I see with that. All right, so for the fifth house energy, which points to romance, creativity, and children, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So this is Virgo energy here. That's technically your ninth house, but at least, seeing the earth energy representing the fifth house, which is earth for you in your chart, is a good indicator. But it's good to just be saying that maybe things flow a little bit more slowly than you would like right now, right? So I feel like you might already have the assurance that it will come to fruition, but maybe it's just not happening as quickly as you would like. But to me, this usually points to slow and steady progress. And interestingly enough, with this deck, we actually do see the bull in the background, right? So this could just be pointing to getting closer to Taurus season for that time. All right. And for the sixth house, which points to health, work, and daily routines, we have the Queen of Swords. So this is a Libra energy for you guys, which Libra is your 10th house of career and social status, but there's a pretty natural connection between 6th house and 10th house matters. I feel like this is saying that you're looking for fairness when it comes to that area of life as well, and you're willing to do what it takes to achieve that. And interestingly enough, if we look at the positioning and the spread, she's looking right at that Knight of Pentacles, right? So again, like I said, maybe this is something you've had to fight for a bit, right? To get what you feel like is fair, a fair, balanced environment when it comes to your work and daily routines. But again, it looks like you're at least getting assurances that it will take place. It just might take a little longer than you would have liked. All right, so for the seventh house, which points to partnerships, relationships, and contracts, we have the Nine of Swords. So this is Gemini energy here. And yeah, this could just be saying that you might be a little bit stressed out around that area of life. So partnerships, especially, right? If this is business partnerships, we could see some indicators why you might have been getting a little bit more stressed out there, right? Now, if this is more of a romantic connection situation, you might actually start to find that some of your fears at least might have been unfounded as far as you've had Jupiter in your seventh house for an extended period of time, and it's been retrograde for quite some time. It finally wrapped that up on the 10th of March, but it's still gaining momentum even as we move through April rather. So could just be pointing to that where it's saying, okay, things might have felt a little bit stuck and blocked in that area of life, and now with Jupiter gaining momentum, you'll start to see the momentum pick up again. All right, so for the eighth house, which points to death, rebirth, intimacy, and investments, we have the Devil. So this is actually the major arcana card that represents your sign. So yeah, this could just be saying that you're really taking on a bit of an obsessive energy when it comes to that area of life. Maybe you might feel like it might even feel like it's out of your control at times, right? Where you're like, okay, I know I need to not be as obsessive about these things, but I just can't really release that feeling. Yeah, more than anything, this could also be leverage in a powerful situation as well to say that, having that determination. But I feel like the key would be knowing when it crosses into an unhealthy side of things. Excuse me. All right. And for the ninth house, we have the star. So ninth house energy is actually Aquarius. And to see this here, I feel like this is saying that, especially if you've had some challenges around your beliefs, your philosophy, I feel like this is saying you're finally coming out on the other side of that now, to where you're finally able to release what doesn't fit with you anymore, and you're able to more fully embrace what does, and be more authentic about that as well. All right, so for the 10th house of career and social status, we have the King of Chalices. So this is actually a Scorpio energy here, and this could just be saying that you might be feeling a little bit alone on an island at times when it comes to your career, right? You might feel like maybe there aren't people who share the same beliefs that you do around how to get things done, right? Even though you're communicating the way you want to see those things get done, I feel like this is saying you might feel like there's a disconnect there where you're like, okay, even though I let people know this is like how I'd like to see things get done, maybe there's some resistance to that, right? You might start to feel like, okay, well, I don't want to go down with the ship in that regard, right? Because you feel pretty sure of yourselves around your beliefs, but you just might feel some resistance at times. And again, if that's the case, like I said, keep in mind that Mercury retrograde just wrapped up recently. So there's still some dust settling there. And as we get a little bit later into the month of April, you'll start to feel the energy lighten a little bit. All right, so for the 11th house, which generally points to friendships, groups, hopes, and wishes, we have the Hangman. So yeah, so you might feel, again, going back to what I was saying, right, to where, like I said, you might feel like you have beliefs that maybe others around you don't share. And again, that even ties into what we were saying with the 9th house, right, where maybe you might have felt rough for a while, putting your beliefs forward and feeling resistance for it. But I feel like this is saying that, you're just going to let it go, not necessarily stress it, and let it be how it is for now. And like I said, I feel like this is one of those things where rather than pressing it, you're going to just give people a little bit of time to catch up, right? Not to say that they necessarily would fall in line with the same beliefs you have, but at the very least, you'll come to the realization that pushing against it at this time isn't really benefiting anyone. All right. And for the 12th house energy, which points to spirituality, blind spots, and mental health, we have the Hermit. So yeah, this is Virgo energy here, and it could just be saying that yeah, you might be a bit more withdrawn, right? And I feel like that's part of why you do feel like you're becoming more confident in your beliefs because you have taken the time to go inward, right, and see, okay, am I the one who's missing something here, or is it maybe others around me, right? And whether it's even about missing something, not missing something, right? It could be as simple as an agree to disagree type of dynamic, right? I feel like this is saying that at least you've gone within to see, like, no, this truly is what works for me. And if it turns out that if I'm the only one who views it that way, then that's fine. And releasing the resistance around that. All right. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Cups. So yeah, so I feel like this is saying that as you continue with that authenticity, right? Like we were talking about with the Nine of Chalices in the third house and seeing the Star card in the ninth house, I feel like this is saying eventually it will come back around for you. So, again, might feel a little bit stressful in a moment, but I feel like as you let a little bit more time pass through wherever things will even out a bit. And interestingly enough, as I'm saying that, we do see the Justice card beneath the Ace of Chalices as well. So yeah, so it might take a little longer to get there, like we said, but it looks like eventually you'll start to see evidence of it playing out in a positive way. So we'll see what the Oracle card has to mix. So, like I mentioned, we're going to pull a card from the Wisdom Oracle deck. I'm just going to give this a few shuffles, then we'll cut the deck and pull a card. Okay, let's put this down and take this card here, get this out of the way, and we'll see what card you got. All right, we have TikTok. There's the artwork, and the number is 30. We'll see what this has to say. All right, essential meanings. It says timelessness, divine timing, immeasurable time. The Oracle's message. When humans created time, everything changed and contracted. People have come to look at time in a linear way, imagining that the past is behind them and the future ahead of them. But what if that isn't true at all? What if everything, creativity, beauty, chaos, and order, were happening now in the glorious timelessness? You have all the time in the world to co-create the life you desire, so release your agenda. Excuse me. Let go of your need to shape each moment to your expectations, knowing that what is yours will never be withheld from you. Miracles are here right now and always show up when you need them, right on time. So yes, that's definitely a positive message there, especially when we were talking about the possible stressful energy that you're seeing with the Nine of Swords in the seventh house, and like we said, even some Five of Swords energy in your second house. And like I said, it looks like you have gone within to really think things through. So overall, hopefully that message is supportive and resonating with you. The relationship message says, love, the fulfillment of desire, and even the body's reproductive cycles have their own timetable. Some things are preordained and cannot be coerced. Everything has its season, its divine and appropriate timing, especially when it comes to matters of the heart. Remember that you always have enough time for love, to find it, to nurture it, to give and receive it. Its clock is eternal and ticks according to the beating of your heart in perfect rhythm. Isn't that wonderful to know? Love is always right on time. So yeah, definitely another good indicator there, given what we were talking about again, right? Seeing the Nine of Swords in the 7th house and the Knight of Pentacles in the 5th, which, like I said, that could be an energy of something will come your way, but maybe it's taking a little bit longer than you would like, right? And then the prosperity message says your prosperity is co-created by your endeavors as they occur in human-made time and the eternal efforts of your most powerful manifestation partner, spirit, in a divine measureless time. So keep doing what you're doing. Stay positive and make a commitment to remain on high vibration thoughts and feelings. If you heed the message of this card, it will seem as if you align with your highest calling and your highest good in no time at all, like magic. So what's all the fuss about not having enough time? The prosperous life that is yours will never pass you by. So that's definitely a strong message there too, because like we said, going back to Jupiter being in your 7th house and it's gaining momentum after it's been retrograde for quite some time. And then we've also had Uranus in your 5th house for quite some time, and that's going to be moving into Gemini um, on the 25th of April. So if you felt like things are a little bit too shaky and shifting a lot in that area of life as well, there you could see things start to settle a bit down the line as well. But yeah, hopefully that resonated with you guys, and we'll wrap up there. All right, bye.